Good morning. It's a beautiful day over here. Hope you're having a great day today. Um, my name is Anissa L. Weston to be exact, and this is my YouTube channel. And this is Faithful Footsteps. Well, we put our feet to our faith. So um, I hope you can get some encouragement today for what I'm going to be talking about. And I hope that you will subscribe to my YouTube channel because I'm coming on very often these days with encouragement. And I just think it's a great thing to be encouraged by someone who loves the Lord. Um, I hear from the Lord by the grace of Him, by the grace of God, and He gives me a lot of revelations. So, what was I going to say? Yeah, so please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also, you can always go back to a lot of the videos that I've done. I have playlists. This here, Faith and Footsteps, has a playlist. Um, I also have a saturated summer playlist. I have a podcast playlist, which I'm going to be bringing back very soon. Because I was reminded that that is something that I need to finish. We've been talking about finishing. Hey, put it down. Put it down. Put it down. Thank you. Um, so yeah, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining. Uh, I titled this today, "What Have You Given Up?" Or "Have You Given Up?" Sorry. And I titled it that because I was reading in, I think Mark, reading in Mark. Hello, welcome in. Thanks for joining. Um, and it was talking about the rich man. It was in March. I think it was in Mark 9 or 10 or both. Um, it was talking about the rich man and how Jesus was like, you have to give up your old life, right, in order to gain your new life. And the rich man was like, nah, like he went away sadly because he felt like he had too much to give up in order to follow Jesus. And I wonder if that's some of us. You know, you have an opportunity to follow him. He's actually invited you to follow him. And, you've decided that you have too much to give up in order to follow him. Um, and I'm wondering if that's the case because we've been talking about finishing things that the Lord has started in you. We've been talking about obedience to him. Welcome in, everyone. Please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure to like the video so other people can see the video. And, share it with somebody who needs it today. So, oh, let me try to make this light, try to pick up pace. So, yeah, um, have you given up? Have you given up your old life? Or are you still trying to live a double life? You're trying to live in the things that um, you're trying to live in the things that were once of value to you. And God is asking you to give that up for him. And you're like, no. And we talked about it, oh, I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, but we talked about we talked about the little girl in the picture. She had a small bear, small teddy bear, and Jesus was like, "Hey, give it to me. I have something better for you." He didn't tell her what he had better for her. He didn't tell her he had something better, but he wanted her to trust him that he had something better, right? I thought that was a great description. If you want a biblical one, Abraham from the Bible was told to leave his family, to leave everything that he knew and go to a new land, right? He was told to go to a new land. So sometimes, in order to gain, and now Abraham is known, renowned as the father of many nations, right? He has more descendants than there are stars. That's what the Lord promised him because he was obedient, even though he didn't understand, even though it looked crazy. Because I don't even have one son. How you gonna give me nations? And I'm 100 years old. That doesn't make sense. But sometimes God will call you to give something up that doesn't make any sense because He has something better. Why would you give up your six-figure paying job, right? Why would you why would you move from a state or from a country that you've known your whole life and you built things there? Why would you do that? It doesn't make any sense. But sometimes God will call you to give up something so that He can, one, so that He can refine your trust in Him, because He wants to make sure that we trust Him and that we don't hold any other idols in our hearts, right? That we don't hold anything in our heart more dear than the Lord or than being obedient to the Lord. That rich man had the idol of his riches. That was the one thing that he was not willing to give up to follow Jesus, right? That was the thing. What's the one thing for you? What's your one thing that you're not willing to give up? You know, I believe that God always has a good plan for our life. It says it in Jeremiah 29:11. That God has a good plan for us, that his thoughts towards us are are good. Right? He said, I know the thoughts that I think of you. They are good and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Another version says, for I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord. They are plans of good and not evil, plans to give you a hope in the future. So, how many of us are holding on to what we think should be our future, right? What we think should be our life, and God is trying to give you something better, something purposeful. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure to like the videos and make sure to share it. But also make sure you go back and listen to these videos because sometimes you might miss something or you might hear something in a different way when you listen to it again. But try to make them short enough to where it's easy to just go back and listen again, you know? So yeah, what have you given up? And obviously there's another side to this, meaning like, have you given up hope, right? Like, have you stopped? Have you given up on what God has called you to? And I believe some people have given up because it became too challenging, it became too hard. They couldn't see God. My old pastor used to say, trust God when you can't trace God. Meaning, like, even when it seems like God isn't around, you have to trust him because he's always around. His word says that he will never leave us, nor will he forsake us. So even if it doesn't feel like he's around, he's around. So have you given up because you feel like God has left you? I had a moment like that, a few moments like that in my life where I felt like this cannot be what God wanted for me, you know? And in those moments, I had to be honest with myself, honest with God. Even mad at him for a minute, and and God understands all of your emotions. He's compassionate towards you. He's merciful towards you, right? He's not afraid of your questions, but I can guarantee you that he doesn't want you to give up. He doesn't want you to give up. Not in that way. He doesn't want you to give up hope, but he does want you to give up your old way of living, take up your cross and follow him. That's what he wants. So I hope today that as you're kind of writing your starters list and your finishers list, if you want to know more about that, you can go to the last video that I did. But if you want to reflect on that, maybe things have been so hard because you haven't given these things to him. Yeah. So I think that's good enough for today. I want you to go back to this video, watch it again, but also I want you to go in the word, go read Mark 9 and Mark 10 and ask the Holy Spirit to speak to you through that. Ask him to speak to you through his word today. Ask him, what does he want you to give up? Good morning. And how does he want you not to give up? So, all right. Well, remember, you have everything that you need to live your life bravely, and God lives within you, is within you. He strengthens you, so you will not fail. All right. Take care.